Hello everyone, my name is Sukesh. In this presentation, we will discuss about WLAN, Wireless Local Area Network. We will start off with a basic overview of what is a wireless LAN and then get into the benefits and LAN technologies involved and finally close with some of the disadvantages of wireless local area networks. Wireless LAN. Wireless communication is one of the fastest growing technologies. The demand for connecting devices without the use of cables is increasing everywhere. A WLAN provides network communication over short distances using radio or infrared signals instead of using traditional network cabling. This helps in creating a good network in locations like home or office wherein users keep moving from one location to another and cables may cause discomfort and limit the movements. Wireless LANs provide high-speed data within a small region, example a campus or small building. As users move from place to place, wireless devices that access these LANs are typically stationary or move at pedestrian speeds. Although Ethernet is widely used, it is about to get some competition. Wireless LANs are increasingly popular, and more office buildings, airports, and other public places are being outfitted with them. Wireless LANs can operate in one of the two configurations, as we saw in figure, with a base station and without a base station. Each user in the wireless network communicates directly with all others without a backbone network, sometimes called ad hoc network. An improvement of this scheme involves the use of access point or base station or transceiver. The scenario shows a wireless network with a base station and the second one is an ad hoc network. The ad hoc network involves in no infrastructure need and the users themselves act as the access points. An ad hoc wireless network is a collection of wireless mobile nodes that self-configure to form a network without the aid of any established infrastructure as shown in the figure below. And without an inherent infrastructure, the mobiles handle the necessary control and networking tasks by themselves, generally through the use of distributed control algorithms. The three prominent wireless technologies are Wi-Fi, that is 802.11 IEEE protocol, and WiMAX, that is 802.16 IEEE protocol, and the third generation of cellular. The table shows a small comparison of the typical line length, link length, typical bandwidth, typical use, and wireless technology analogies. Now, let us look at some of the benefits of wireless LANs. People can access the network from anywhere they want. They are no longer limited by the length of the cable. Many cities have started to offer wireless LANs. This means that people can access the internet even outside their normal work environment. For example, when they ride the train. Setting up a wireless LAN can be done with one box called access point. This box can handle a varying number of connections at the same time. Wired networks require cables to be laid. This can be difficult for certain places. Access points can serve a varying number of computers using DHCP protocol. Now let us look at some of the major problems with wireless networks. The first problem, a computer on Ethernet will always listen to the other before transmitting. Only if the other is idle does the computer begin transmitting. With wireless LANs, this idea does not work so well. Second problem is multipath propagation or multipath fading. Reflecting, refracting, and scattering cause multiple versions of the signal arrive at the receiver. With small variation of distance and time, cause wide variation of received signal called small scale fading. It is experienced mostly in dense cities. The third problem is handoff. Handoff is necessary like mobile communications. By looking at variation of the signal strength from either base station, it is possible to decide on the optimum area where handoff can take place. The above is a small illustration of showing the intersection of signal strengths and the possible location of a handoff region. Now let us look at some of the wireless LAN technologies. Wireless LAN technologies can be classified into four types. The first is infrared, spectrum, narrowband radio frequency, home radio frequency, and Bluetooth. Infrared LANs. Each signal covering cell in an infrared LAN is limited to one room. Coverage is small since the infrared rays cannot penetrate to the wall and other opaque obstacles. Three alternating transmission techniques are used for infrared data transmission. The first is direct beam or point-to-point connection. The second is omnidirectional configuration that consists of single base station that is normally used on ceilings. And the third is the diffuse configuration. Sped spectrum LANs. The idea behind sped spectrum is to spread the signal over a wide frequency band than normal in such a way as to minimize the impact of interference from other devices. Frequency hopping is a sped spectrum technique that involves the transmitting the signal over a random sequence of frequencies. That is, first transmitting in one frequency, then in second, and then a third, and so on. Narrowband radio frequency LANs. Narrowband RF LANs use very narrow bandwidth. Adjacent cells use very different bands. The transmissions are encrypted to prevent attacks. This is a small illustration wherein there are three frequencies, and the 100 Mbps Ethernet switch is connected to the bridge router and a computer. There are several control modules to interface wireless LANs to the backbone Ethernet. In the previous figure, each cell has its own control module and connected by a switch to route traffic among them. Now, the last LAN technology is home radio frequency and Bluetooth. Home radio frequency is used to connect various home electronic devices such as desktops, laptops, and appliances. Home radio frequency supports data rates of about 2 Mbps and has a range of about 50 meters. The basic Bluetooth network configuration, called a piconet, consists of a master device and up to 7 slave devices as shown in the figure. Any communication is always between the master and a slave. The slaves cannot communicate directly with each other. A Bluetooth has a built-in short-range radio transmitter. And the above is a description of image containing two piconets, and there is a bridge slave that is connecting those two piconets. Thank you.